It's a reaction video pretty much. I'm gonna react into it. The video is called Turning Players into Payers. And I got quite few of, few things to say about all of these, the pay to wins and all of that. So, let's see what is the video about.
Turning players into payers.
I'm actually curious. It's very nice animations.
I think some of you are going to like this episode. You might not like what it has to say, but this has been the product of a good few weeks of research, of back and forth, of investigation, and I think I've put together a very compelling video.
Turning players into payers.
Before we properly crack on, though, I want to preempt some of the arguments that I think are going to come. Mainly, yes, microtransactions, monetization, games as service are popular. They make a lot of money, basically. A ton of money. Inconceivable amounts of money. But it's important to remember that a lot of this money comes from a very small percentage of the audience. The so-called whales who spend massive amounts of money on in-game purchases. And that, to me, looks like game publishers are building entire empires on sand. It's not the most reliable, not the most stable business model, is it, to go all in on a handful of peeps? And when that bubble bursts, I feel like it's going to be very, very ugly. Speaking of very, very ugly, recently Activision came under heavy fire after the discovery of a patent it filed pertaining to a method in which online matchmaking itself would be weaponized in order to try and force customers into spending extra money on additional content. At its most basic, such an idea takes a new player, works out the kind of stuff that player would like, then takes veteran players with said content, matches them up against the new players with the idea that the new player...
So it kinda in a way forces you to look like you get wrecked by the people with better weapons, forcing you to go and purchase the better weapons and so on and so on. More money! That's interesting.
Players will get their asses kicked.
It says identify an item that may be relevant to the first player. Identify a second player that possesses the item. Tune match variance and or coefficients to match first and second player. You get the idea, right? First player purchase item goes straight yes. Plays first player in a game section which the item is effective. Update player profile to indicate now purchase.
Think, oh, I do a lot better if I had the stuff that other player had, and then they'll want to buy additional...
I already knew all of these. The games from that company trying to match players that they don't have in-game items, matching them with players that they first joined the game and they obviously didn't purchase anything, didn't pay to win anything, right? I knew it. It was obvious.
Stuff off Activision in order to gain a competitive edge. It's as fucking insidious as it sounds, and do you know how fucking insidious it sounds? Really fucking insidious. That's how insidious it sounds. While Activision maintains it's never implemented such a scheme in its games, to date, it's still a grasping, pathetic idea from a grasping, pathetic industry that has grown more frantic than ever when it comes to scraping additional cash out of its audience's wallets. That said, a patent is just a patent and is never explicit proof that something's actually happening in the industry. However, just because Activision's slimy little scam may be just written on paper, it doesn't mean that games aren't already using player data in a variety of sinister and worrying ways, so much so that entire businesses are being built purely off the back of such data use.
100%.
I've been looking at a company after a disgusted anonymous developer contacted me about it, having just got done seeing companies gloating about how much extra money they could exploit from their customers using what I'm about to discuss. If you've never
I don't know why he's now reading that out loud. I have another surprise. 10 biddies. Thank you, man. Appreciate the daily beats. Missed them. Thank you. Appreciate that. It's a very interesting video, by the way, because Activision, I knew they do all of that. If you played any of their games or even watched any of the games, I watched like Summit playing a lot of Activision competitive and so on, complaining about the fact that he was getting wrecked by people with better weapons and so on and so on. Like, it was obvious. You could easily see that. What? No message over there either. Steven has gifted a tier 1 sub to Laura. GG's. Thank you very much, Steven, for gifting me a sub. And not only that, gifting to Laura. That's been on the stream for so long. She so deserves it. Thank you. Make sure, Laura, that if you're around, make sure that you're gonna say, thank you. That's awesome, man. Jesus, man. That promotion, the 100 bonus promotion, man. Thank you.
Never heard of it? Allow me to introduce to you scientific revenue. Better yet, grab a large industrial-grade vomit bag and let Scientific Revenue introduce itself with this video package it proudly shares on its site.
Mobile games are a massive business, but
That's awesome. Thank you again.
competition is fierce, and the cost to acquire new players keeps going up. To have any chance of turning players into payers, game developers need to get their in-app purchases right. To boost revenue, you need deep insights into your players and the ability to customize prices for each. What if you could deliver the right price at the right time for the right buyer? We deliver dynamic pricing that increases conversion, reduces churn, and boosts the lifetime revenue of your app. Our plugin easily integrates into your game.
I forgot to say enjoy the blue hype and the feels blue man on the chat. Also enjoy the fact that on Discord, if you have connected your Discord with your Twitch, you're gonna go under the Twitch subs. Forgot to say that one. Whoopsie.
And common game development environments, where it captures hundreds of data points that inform purchase decisions. With predictive analytics and machine learning, our dynamic pricing engine analyzes pricing signals, segments players in real time, and automatically delivers targeted pricing. With better insights at your fingertips, you can keep improving engagement and retention. Now, nothing stands between you and monetization. Turning players into payers.
Mayhaps
What am I
you were
watching?
too busy cringing at the embarrassing faux-friendly corporatism to watch it, but that introductory video pretty much explains how you, the players, are being observed and studied by a piece of software, learning what it can about your income, when you play, how you play, where you play, even what type of phone you have, to better know how to hit you with in-app purchases. Essentially, Scientific Revenue is a stealth predator that mobile games have been integrating into their products that
Now we can emote together.
it may hide
So
in
true.
the bushes and wait to pounce when you're at your most susceptible. Scientific Revenue claims that with no effort on the part of the
That's a very interesting video, man. It's very interesting. I had no idea about these up, I'm gonna say.
developers themselves, a game could increase its cash intake by 20 to 40% simply by knowing when to offer additional purchases and how much to charge individual players. The latter part is what Scientific Revenue proudly calls dynamic pricing, and it's not new. Scientific Revenue certainly isn't the only company doing it. Zynga, the closest thing mobile gaming has to Satan's foreskin,
Poker,
caused
yeah.
a minor uproar when it was caught offering the same content to
Oh.
different customers at different prices, experimenting with the dynamic purchase model. In any case, players of mobile games might not realize that so-called machine learning is watching everything they do, getting to know them, learning their resistances and weaknesses like they're bloody orcs in Shadow of Mordor. To me, the sheer
Shadow of Mordor, bravo. It felt so fucking pay to win when I saw it. I was like, this is disgusting.
existence of Scientific Revenue, which incidentally has former PlayStation honcho Jack Tratton on the team, yeah, that's where he ended up, puts paid to the claim that the game industry merely considers microtransactions as optional. Oh, microtransactions are just there as an option. It's all about player choice, player freedom. You know, the usual bullshit excuses corporate mouthpieces trot out when they defend their decision to shovel microtransactions into their games. The fact there's a market for predatory microtransactions, ones designed to seek you out even if you want to ignore them, says that no, game companies aren't interested in simply offering players choices. They want to get what they've always...
Wait, it said... Let me see.
In simply offering
Unity, Unreal Engine... That's the two that I know.
They want to get what they've always wanted. All of your money, as much as it could possibly carry. And another crucial impression I get from this is that, yeah, for a lot of people, they can ignore loot boxes, microtransactions, all that stuff. And the current glorified gambling craze sweeping across the industry is predominantly geared toward exploiting the more easily exploitable. But with this sort of stuff, they're coming for everybody. Winter is coming for you. And companies have freely demonstrated that they are nowhere near above increasingly desperate methods of beating you around the head until you surrender and hand over more money.
Unless you're a person like myself that never paid any type of money other than the initial price when you buy the game, no matter what they offer, I never buy anything inside the game other than the actual game at the beginning. If you are that type of a person, you wouldn't care. You can shove as many boxes in my face as you want. Cosmetics? I don't care. Any other beneficial items in the game? I don't fucking care. You know me. I have like literally 300 and how many games do I have? Let me see. I have 327 games on my computer. Never in my life, even for cosmetic, bought anything. If you want to price your game and tell me, hey, you pay 40 euros and you have everything, I will buy it. If not, then fuck you. Not giving you more money. Don't want to support this type of content or whatever. It's just ridiculous. And I hate when I see people going and buying boxes. I'm just, you know, it's free to play. I'm going to support the game. It's their mistake for putting it free to play and putting cosmetics. I'm never going to support you. When I put a price at the beginning of the game in order to actually play the game, good. I will pay for it. Otherwise, fuck you. Sorry. It's only for the rich. It's for... Or the little kids that they have no idea what they're doing and they're spending their credit cards day in, day out. Playing Fortnite with the basic skin. Disgusting. You're so bad. Oh, no, bahaha. I don't care, you know. I genuinely don't care.
In the same way Valve uses algorithms to sell you games based on your interests, games themselves seem interested in using algorithms to sell you more of, well, themselves based on everything they can find out about you. I reached out to Scientific Revenue personally to find out more, asking some pointed questions about the ethics, the implementation, and exploitative potential of its service. In a very interesting move, the company's response was to use Gama Sutra to publicly address and somewhat belittle my concerns before I ever had a chance to publish anything myself. CEO Bill Grosso lays out a picturesque description of dynamic pricing, comparing it to established instances of price flexibility, such as auctions, okay?
It's not that hard to say no. It is actually not that hard, but knowing that there is people out there, young or old, that they are willing to actually pay money for anything in-game, it's so absurd to me, it's unreal.
Airline prices, okay, and surge pricing such as when Uber raises its fares during busy times.
The first time that I've seen these in-game purchases was when I was playing H1Z1, when it was survival and they had those boxes. Never bought a single one of them. And then from there, all the shit show began. They split into the Battle Royale arena type of a game, leaving the survivor part of the H1Z1 behind, and adding so many boxes, unlock this, unlock that, and shoving it down your throat, and I never bought any of them. Then I saw like Overwatch, and then it kept going and going and going and getting worse and worse. Even the most recent one that I remember was Fallout 76, which was absolutely disgusting. The in-game currency, the in-game blah blah blah. It's just leave me alone. Just allow me to fucking play your goddamn fucking game and unlock everything that I want by grinding and by actually playing the game, not by giving you more money.
Okay, none of the comparisons are particularly apt, since none of them so subtly manipulate their customers, but Bill goes to great lengths to defend his platform, as you might expect, even going so far as to claim that dynamic pricing is far less likely to harm the game industry than attitudes like mine, which he presents as, and I quote, deliberately rejecting best practices from other industries in the name of an illogical and inconsistent purity, and continuing to lose money on the vast majority of games that are created, regardless of quality. After publishing...
You're disgusting. I also sold my EA stocks. You've done well, man. This is a rabbit hole that is going deeper and deeper. The sad thing about all of this is the fact that there is so many new, the new generation, the Fortnite people, I will say, is the Fortnite generation. They are shoving so much money into the industry. And people like ourselves that we were born in a different generation, obviously I'm 27 now, that we had the pleasure to have games with no in-game currency and all of that. That's their audience, that's their target, that's why they continue making the profit. You got 200 euros profit out of it, yeah? But the hate was too much.
Publishing the preemptively argumentative article, Bill Grosso sent it to me and asked if I had any other questions. I did find his piece a little unsatisfactory, dodging the ethics issue with a dismissive everybody does it so it's okay rhetoric, and...
No, it's not everyone does it, it's okay. The result is harm to all free-to-play developers. No. An apocalyptic prediction, the result is harm to all free-to-play developers, and move on to a discussion of when and where dynamic pricing is appropriate. Nowhere. You put a price in your game, how much your game is value, and let the people buy and support you that way.
And using extreme examples of predatory pricing, such as overcharging for medical supplies in order to make itself look better. And honey, if you need to compare yourself to the pharmaceutical industry to look good, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. In any case, you can read the article yourself at Gamma Sutra, and I highly recommend reading the lengthy comment response below, which does a good job highlighting how Grosso/Grosso, I'm not entirely sure, glosses/glosses over the concept of taking advantage of customers, as well as the inadequacy of his comparisons with other industries.
In my company, in the various companies I work with, dynamic pricing is something we do a lot of, and how customers feel is frequent concern of many of our clients, but it's often a what-if scenario that never plays out. We had never ever had one complain about someone feeling like the price changes were us taking advantage of them, and this is with many business. Is the practice, is not the fact that it's changing the prices. Anyways.
Despite initially friendly correspondence with Bill, the CEO became increasingly derisive and snarky the more he seemed to learn about me. He made it clear he'd been looking me up, bringing up the fact I recently published a podcast entitled Fart Porn Specialist to make some sort of point, and rather flippantly blew me off when I asked for more details, despite him contacting me after a long period of silence to, you know, offer more details himself. After telling me that his Gama Sutra article answered everything adequately, I took it as the company's official response. Bill's write-up did address some of my queries, but I feel it ducked a number of them, including these questions that I had explicitly asked. With microtransactions already regularly emulating the psychological effects of gambling, what measures do you take to make sure scientific revenue is responsibly implemented, and what duty do you feel, if any, to the end users playing these games? Are users of said games ever put off when they learn they may be buying something their fellow players paid less for? Is there not a risk of saturating the market to the point of breaking, with games ramping up new and more complex ways of generating revenue, and an overwhelming number of games offering minimal gameplay with large microtransactions? How much more can the industry take before it collapses? I also wanted to know
Good point. Good point.
if scientific revenue had moved beyond mobile games and was looking at, approached by, or even implemented in larger games for console and PC, but the increasingly cagey CEO seemed entirely uninterested in touching that one. According to Scientific Revenue's website, though, it does at least work really well with Unity. Oh, it's a shame Digital Homicide never jumped on that when they had the chance. Oh well. While the Scientific Revenue boss claims that the death of the industry is far more likely to be the fault of people like me rather than organisations like his, I can personally say that I gave up on the mobile games market specifically because monetization had gotten so overbearing, so oversaturated, so overly manipulative that I couldn't stand it anymore.
Much.
I was a huge proponent of mobile gaming when it first rose to popularity, going so far as to defend it from quote-unquote hardcore gamers who continually called mobile games casual trash for trashy casuals. But you can only
I'm gonna agree on that one. Mobile game is been evolved quite a lot, but the fact that every other game that you play on your mobile, all of them, every single one of them, like it or not, has monetization things, purchases, and now with the dynamic pricing changing, depends how much they sell and how much they don't, is ridiculous. I wanna download a game. I don't care if I need to pay for it. $5, $10, you're gonna get like 1 million downloads. Welcome to the 5 million profit. There we go. You don't need to add the in-game transactions and literally wait for like fucking days to do one simple task. Let's say in a Clash of Clans, run out of points. You can't do anything until you pay for $10 to do something, or to wait for 48 hours. Like, that's fucking ridiculous. Let me fucking enjoy the game, man. You want to sell the game for $5, $10, it's a good game that people enjoy, they're gonna buy it.
only see so many pitifully cloying Clash of Clans rip-offs before you feel overwhelmed and underwhelmed at the same time. You can only play so many games that feature minimal or self-playing gameplay offset by constant harassment to spend more money before you close the App Store in fucking disgust. Cell phone gaming had a bright future once.
They had.
A long time ago in the past. Mobile devs these days allegedly only care about the money to be made off the so-called whales and dolphins. You know, the big and mid-tier spenders. Hell, this show's own art director does game design on the side, and he's told me about his first-hand experience with mobile studios and how they'd email him to only talk about the money they plan to make. No word of game design or anything, just the end result.
If I was a mobile developer and I was planning of making an actual good game, like an actual good game with progression and very much playability, multiplayer, not multiplayer, whatever, I would just put a $5-10 in front and be like, hey, wanna play my game? Buy it. $5-10, you buy it, you play it forever. You have it on on your Google account. No spamming, no nothing. You straight away just fucking play. There's plenty of fucking reviews and gameplay to help you get an idea if you like the game or not before you purchase it. Same with the Steam games. Why all of the mobile games are free and with in-game currencies.
A big fat ka-ching. By the time I downloaded an iOS Dynasty Warriors game only to find out it played its fucking self and continually forced me into the marketplace with too many currencies to keep track of, I realised mobile gaming was boned for good. It's done. It'll keep making money off its whales and dolphins until the bubble eventually bursts, but abandon hope, ye who enter looking for quality, for the state of mobile gaming today is, in my professional opinion, fucking shit. Not that Cyrev, that's my call word for it, not that Cyrev would agree, of course. It's all just best practices, and any claim that games have been ruined by an oversaturation of in-app purchases is just apocalyptic rhetoric. Bill did a good job of painting me and those like me as overreacting doom singers. He's not the first person whose cage I've rattled to do it, and he sure as shit won't be the last, but I can only speak from experience. I, once an adamant defender of mobile games, no longer play them because they're shit. Except Steppy Pants. You're still cool, Steppy Pants. I mean, don't use scientific revenue, do you, Steppy Pants? Don't break my heart. Don't break my heart. Unfortunately for...
Let me do this, alright? Talking about the mobile games. What do I actually have on my mobile when it comes to games? I have a game, and only one game. And I can show it to the stream. That's my only game that I have. And it's called They Are Survival. That's all I have. Nothing else. Nothing. Because all of the games is fucking trash.
For Bill, who I'm sure is a nice enough bloke, everything scientific revenue says about...
And it doesn't have a cash-in and blah blah blah. You know, it doesn't. It's a good game.
...itself makes my fucking skin crawl. The way it talks about players giving off pricing signals, the way it claims you can turn free users into paid ones, it drips with the kind of smarmy slime you could only find at a modern tech company. Companies like this are birthed by the corporate culture that describes humans as aquatic mammals in order to insultingly reference their spending habits. The corporate culture that can't stop using the word audience retention because anything else might not sound creepy and robotic enough. The corporate culture that brought us King. You know, the Candy Crush people. Wow. That completely wretched arsehole of a business with a history spottier than Spotty from Super Ted. I know, go read that Gama Sutra post. You might even find yourself agreeing with some of Scientific Revenue's arguments. Everybody.
Hello, Bad Direction. Good to see you, brother. Welcome back to the stream. Nice to see you, man. How you doing? It's all good over there?
He does it, dynamic pricing is fine, charging people different prices for the same game content is fair because not everybody has the same income, different pricing isn't wrong if people are paying for it. Whether you agree or not though, what has become indisputable is that monetization is not optional. Industry thralls can yell it till they're blue in the face, but they fucking ain't. It doesn't want to be optional. It never wanted to be optional. It doesn't want to be ignored, and it sure as shit doesn't want a single one of you to get away with not paying the piper, regardless of whether or...
Jesus, he's so true. It's not optional. Hey, you wanna pay? Go for it. You know, pay. Nope. They're like, no. No progress. No. You pay now. Yeah. Give me your money. Bored and tired. Saying bored and tired, I will get the tired part, and I will say that when I came home, I went straight to my bed. I was like, yeah, I'm fucking too tired. I'm gonna lay to my bed, and I'm just gonna, I don't know, just watch like a YouTube video for like 10 minutes before I jump into the shower and come for the stream, right? I have like 40 minutes or something. As I was laying in my bed, within the first 5 minutes, I almost fall asleep. I was like, shit, no, just gotta get up, gotta fucking wake up. Let's go take a shower. Alright, Drink one shift here. Let's go for the second one. Let's go. You gotta stay awake. People are waiting. I don't wanna go to sleep. Not yet. Work is a shit show at best. I feel you on that one. I'll feel you. I'm there with you, man. I'm there. Such a tiring day, especially when you're working with 41 degrees fucking outside. My brain.
Or not, you already paid an entrance fee in the first friggin' place. I couldn't find anywhere where Scientific Revenue says what games it's affected or even how many, but it proudly states that games using it have been downloaded over 100 million times.
100 million. Imagine if that game was like $5. How much money are you gonna make out of it without these in-game currencies?
That's a lot of games collecting a lot of data to learn how better to make you pay. And the moment this sort of shit definitively, provably makes its way to so-called AAA games, any argument about so-called player choice and optional time-saving purchases goes right out the fucking window. Not only that, but can you just imagine EA, Activision, Ubisoft, Warner Brothers and 2K getting in on this shit? It's gonna be an all-you-can-fuck buffet. The world of AAA games is sadly looking increasingly like a total fucking write-off. I mean, hell, EA just shit-canned Visceral and scrapped their single-player Star Wars game in order to pursue a more game-as-service model. And yeah, I heard that the Star Wars game Visceral was working on was apparently a mess. Apparently. But that doesn't...
Apparently a mess. Purple, hello Purple, how you doing? Good to see you. How you doing, darling? 2 people in the management have quit. 1 person is fired. 1 person is home 2 weeks and with sick kid. 1 is home for 2 to 4 weeks because of a knee operation. 1 person is on holiday. Good Lord. Hold tight over there. Jesus. Jesus, man. It's even worse than mine. Assuming that next week I'm gonna be off. I'm gonna have 2 offs, assuming next week. I don't know for sure if everything goes well. There's always something going wrong and I'm not getting a second day off. Hold tight there, alright? Think about the money that you're gonna make. Not too bad. I'm glad to hear that one. How's the stream going?
Doesn't change the fact we're not getting a single-player Star Wars game on its own at all now. Because that shit just don't make enough money anymore. Oh, it could make money. Lots of money. It just wouldn't make all of the money in the fucking world, so fuck it. The loot box craze that's taken...
Let me say something about all of these. The community, the computer community, the PC community, it's been very loud about all the loot boxes and all of that. But there is a fat 60% of the players that they play these games that they don't say anything. And because they are not saying anything, they continue doing it and doing it and doing it. And I don't know when this shit show is gonna stop. When all these loot boxes in games, even for consumables, for fucking... I don't know, like clothing and outfits and characters and all of that, they stop being behind a paywall. I don't know when that is going to stop. Are we ever going to go back into how games used to be? I'm fucking tired of playing a game and be like, yeah, pay this, pay that. Oh, you're going to look at a nice skin. Pay. Hello, next. Welcome back to the stream, brother. Howdy. Was good. EA is never gonna stop that. Some people over there just care about the money. Once upon a time, when I used to play video games, it used to be about and only about the game, what is inside the game, and not how much money I'm gonna make out of that game that I made. I got tired, man. Like, we grew in a generation that let's say skins wasn't a thing, and if skins on games or on guns or characters was a thing, it was something that you got out of achievements, like you killed 10 people. Congratulations, here a cool skin for your gun because you are so good, because you played well. When we're gonna get back to it? Europe is following suit, hopefully. I'm tired of this shit. Loot boxes are already illegal in Belgium. Well, I don't think... like, when you play Overwatch, you don't have loot boxes? You do. Illegal or not, there we go. The fun thing is some games, we still get the loot boxes, but we know exactly what we're gonna get. Yeah, those as well. Skins are behind a paywall. Blue's emotes are behind a paywall. No, okay. It's not emotes. Alright, let me put a little bit of music. It's not emotes behind a paywall. It's, hey, I'm doing this for free. If you want to help and support this, and you want me to continue doing what I'm doing and creating content for you to watch and spend your time, and you want to help me out, help me. Now we give you something back as a reward, because you are helping us, you know, because you want me to continue. Unfortunately, I cannot monetize any of my content. 1,100 videos on YouTube not monetized. I'm not a partner of Twitch, so I'm not making any money there. Even passively, someone joins my stream, play an ad, make some money. Not even, completely for free. Well, I'm sitting over here every day instead of sleeping. I'm sitting over here. At least, you know, if you want to help out, I wouldn't mind. And if you do, I will give you something back. A cool emote or two. And I'm trying to unlock the third one, the blue dapping. 25 subs. We unlock the blue dab. I know you want it. Please. God damn it. Don't make me feel bad about how Twitch works. It's a reward to those that they choose to support. Alright? That's how it is. It's not a paywall. Stab it. You're so mean.
Taken gaming by storm in 2017 has turned too many otherwise quality games into glorified gambling simulators. Gacha games.
Gambling simulators, I like the terminology.
With shameless opportunities to render the gameplay itself meaningless in favour of just buying your way up the ladder. From Shadow of War to Star Wars Battlefront 2.
I didn't even finish this game. Like, I played... I don't even know how many hours I played this game. I didn't even finish it because it was like, hey, pay money. Pay money now. You can't go further. Pay me money. I was like, nope.
Even after EA toned it down due to backlash, games from major publishers are sinking into a slime pit that mobile games have been masturbating into for quite some time already, and companies like Scientific Revenue are ready and willing to make that decline all the more easy. Effortless, in fact, according to their sales pitch. Let's fuck with the orc merchant for representing everything I fucking hate. Go on. No, fuck no. Yeah, come on. No cigar, friend. No sale at all.
Alright, you get a rough idea of what is the whole video about. Interesting. Very interesting. I didn't know about this. I didn't know about the mobile changing the prices. Depends on the paywall that you have, or the pay wallet that you have. Anyways, it was a very cool and interesting video. I'm glad that I watched it with you.